In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this super fun and easy crochet chunky scarf. This pattern is great for both new and seasoned crocheters because it's extremely beginner friendly for the newcomers out there, but it's also a great breather project for more experienced crocheters if you're looking for something really quick and mindless. This scarf is timeless and really cute, and I can't wait for you to make one for yourself. I made this pattern in 4 different sizes: petite, classic, long, and extra long. In this video, I'm demonstrating the extra long, but no matter what size you're making, you're going to want to reference the written pattern for measurements, specific chaining and stitch counts, and yarn amounts. You can access the pattern in 2 different ways. You can view it for free on my blog, or if you prefer, you may purchase the PDF version if you enjoy accessing your patterns offline or enjoy having the ability to print. Both versions are linked in the description box below, so you can pick whatever version works best for you. To get started, here's what you'll need. I'm using Loops and Threads Charisma in the color Rainy Day. It is a number 5 bulky weight yarn and it's 100% acrylic. An 8mm crochet hook, scissors, and a yarn needle. To get started, I like to slide off the label and then I like to pull my yarn from the center of the skein. So sometimes it's easy to find that little end, other times it's a bit of a mess, just like you can see here. But once you find the little end of your yarn, you can start with a slip knot. If you're a complete beginner and have never made a slip knot before, I have a video showing you exactly how to do this if you need it slowed down a bit, so I will have that linked in the description box below. You can grab your crochet hook, slide it in your slip knot, and pull to tighten. We're now going to start with our foundation chain. Again, if you have never made a foundation chain before, no worries. I made a complete video tutorial on foundation chaining, and I will have that linked down below. So if you need a little extra help with the foundation chain, go check out that video and then hop back here. I am making the extra long size, so I will be making a foundation chain of 211. If you'd like, pause here and meet back up with me once you have created a foundation chain length that is listed for your chosen size. All right, so I have 211 chains here and I'm ready to begin row 1. So if you inspect your foundation chain, you'll see that the top of the chain kind of resembles a braid. But if you flip it over, like so, you will see on the back there are little bumps. So that's where we're going to be crocheting into for the first row. We're going to be crocheting into each of these little bumps. So count over 3 bumps from your hook, and we're going to start into that 3rd bump from our hook. So to half double crochet, you yarn over. We're going to insert our hook into the chain. We're going to draw up a loop. We now have 3 loops on our hook, and make sure they can slide nice and freely. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That is a half double crochet. So let's do that again. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that next little chain bump, draw up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And that's all we're going to do for this first row. So we yarn over, insert our hook into that next little bump, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. As you get more comfortable with it, you'll become a little bit more fluid in your stitch. But that's all we're doing for the first row. We're simply making a half double crochet in each chain across. And like I said before, this is such a great project for beginners because you're really practicing these stitches over and over and over again, and it's in that repetition that's going to get you more comfortable with your hook and yarn. Jumping in and making a project is really just the best way to do that. And a project like this where you're doing the same stitch over and over again, it's just a really great way to cement those foundational crochet skills. If you'd like, go ahead and pause here and meet back up with me once you've crocheted across the row. I do also want to note that if you're having a hard time crocheting into your foundation chain, this is probably the most challenging row of the project. Once you get this first row under your belt, I promise it's smooth sailing. All right, so I'm almost at the end of row 1. I have one more chain left. This is what it should look like. And we're going to go into that little bump. And we're making our last half double crochet. All right, perfect. So now we're ready to begin row 2. So we're going to turn our work like so. And to start row 2, we are going to chain 2. All right, and starting in that first stitch, we're going to go into the back loop only. This is what's going to give us a nice ribbed texture. So catching that back loop only, you're going to make your half double crochet. And you're just going to do the same thing across the row. So in that next stitch, you're going to half double crochet in the back loop. Perfect. And you guessed it, in the next one, we're going to do the same thing. So we're simply half double crocheting into the back loop only in each stitch across. And as you get more rows under your belt, you'll really start to see that ribbing take shape, and that's what gives us this really nice texture for our scarf. I think at this point you have half double crochets down, so I'm going to leave you to it. If you'd like, pause here and meet back up with me once you get to the end of row 2. Okay, perfect. So we're almost at the end of row 2. I just have a few more half double crochet stitches in the back loop to make. Just one more stitch to go. And this part left over kind of looks like a stitch, but it's just that starting chain 2, which we're not counting as a stitch. At this point, you can turn your work and we're ready to begin row 3. So to start row 3, we're going to start with a chain 2, and all we're going to do from here on out is repeat row 2. So we're simply going to be working a half double crochet into the back loop only in each stitch across. So I am making the extra long version, so I will be completing 11 rows, but depending on the size that you are making, you may have a different number of rows. And if you're customizing the pattern, you can do as many rows as you have enough yarn for. And regardless of whatever size you're making, you're going to be using multiple balls of yarn. So I want to show you how to join in a new ball. So if you'd like, pause here and meet back up with me once you get to the end of your first ball of yarn. Okay, so as you can see, I'm almost at the end of this ball of yarn. Just gonna do a couple more stitches. Okay, that's a little short, so I'm going to pull out that last stitch or 2. I like to give myself a decent amount of yarn. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and we're going to start our next half double crochet stitch. So you're going to start it, you're going to draw up that loop, but we're going to stop there. So don't complete your half double crochet. You're going to stop when you have 3 loops on your hook. Grab your next ball of yarn and you're going to find your end. I like to pull from the center. You don't have to. I just like doing it that way. And again, this is not going to be a nice, clean little center pull. That's fine. So, okay, I found the next end of my yarn and I'm going to wrap it around my finger like so. And then we're going to yarn over with the new ball and we're going to complete our half double crochet with the new ball of yarn. And now we're going to work as normal. So into that next stitch, we're going to yarn over and we're going to work into the back loop only. But for this first stitch, right after we joined in the new ball, I like to crochet over those 2 yarn tails. So the old ball and the new ball. And it just kind of helps keep things secure. But I only like to do that for 1 stitch and then we will weave in our ends the rest of the way later. So now we're just going to continue working in our next stitch as usual. And we're just going to keep working as usual as if nothing happened. So that's all you have to do when you're joining in a new ball of yarn. And as you can see, it's very seamless. That got a little puffy there, so you can just pull those tails tight And you cannot tell where you joined in that new ball of yarn. It's great. So I am just going to go ahead and trim these two tails so they're the same length. I like to give myself about 5 or 6 inches, enough room to weave in my ends later. That is the perfect length. And I do want to note that I like to keep all of my tails to one side, so there may be occasions where I would keep those tails to the front of my work, or as it's facing me, but whatever side I have my tails on is typically what I call the back of my work. So anyways, if you'd like, you can go ahead and pause here and meet back up with me once you've completed the amount of rows specified for the size you're making in the pattern, and then we will finish up and weave in our ends together. All right, so I am almost done with row 11. Again, I'm making the extra long and my size specifies for 11 rows. So I'm just finishing up those last few stitches, and this is my last one. And woohoo! I have completed my scarf, and that is how much yarn I have left. I used 3 whole balls. Depending on your tension, it may be a little bit different. I have my tension listed in the pattern, so you'll want to check and make sure you have a similar tension. So all you have to do is clip your yarn and we can fasten off. So grab your yarn needle, and we're going to go ahead and weave in this end. So I like to work my way down to a nice horizontal row. So I am just gonna insert my needle into about 1.5 inch long space, just like so. And I am going to be splitting the yarn as I go. That really helps to tangle your yarn end. It helps prevent your little ends from ever peeking out. So I like to go in the same spot, kind of back and forth, to really get that yarn tangled in there. And I'm also being mindful that I don't want this yarn to be visible to the other side. So I'm going in rather shallowly, and you can kind of flip your work over to the other side. You can see if you can detect that end on the other side. So I like to make sure that you can't. And so we're just gonna go back and forth in that little area. And as you pull the yarn, you want to make sure you're not pulling it too tight. You want it to be natural. So I feel like that end is sufficiently weaved in. We can go ahead and clip our yarn. So that's how you weave in one of the tails on the end. Let's do one of the ends in the middle of our work together. So grab your yarn needle and pick a tail and thread it in there. And then we're really just going to do the same exact thing. So along that horizontal row in each of those stitches, I'm just taking my yarn needle and I'm going down about 1 inch or so, inch and a half maybe. And I'm splitting the yarn as I go to really tangle my end in. And you want to grab different pieces as you go. So now I'm going back. I'm grabbing different pieces of yarn as I go. I'm splitting the yarn. So I like to do this a few times. And I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my yarn, or take my scissors and clip that end. And then repeat that process for all remaining tails. And there you have it, the crochet chunky scarf. I really hope you found today's tutorial helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and would like to, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!